I announced that my dad's not paying my college tuition. So my dad has always been this super cheap guy who acts like he's loaded but penny pinches everything. Like, we're talking about a man who buys generic cereal and then pours it into name brand boxes so the neighbors think we eat the good stuff. He drives a BMW that's literally held together with duct tape and prayers, but he parks it at the front of the driveway so everyone can see it. Anyway, I'm a senior in high school and college application season is here. All my friends are talking about where they're applying and their parents are stressing about tuition costs. Meanwhile, my dad keeps making these weird comments about how I better figure out my future because money doesn't grow on trees. But he never actually said he wouldn't pay for college, so I just assumed he would. Big mistake. I applied to my dream school and got accepted with a partial scholarship. I was so pumped and ran downstairs to tell my parents. My mom was excited and started crying happy tears, but my dad just looked at me and said, "That's nice, honey. Hope you can afford it." I was confused and asked what he meant. He shrugged and said college was my responsibility now that I was becoming an adult. I felt my stomach drop. This man had literally never told me I'd be paying for college myself. We'd never had that conversation. I was so angry and hurt that I decided to be petty about it. If he wanted to embarrass me, I'd return the favor. The next week was my 18th birthday party at our house. All my relatives were there, plus some family friends and neighbors. My dad loves showing off in front of people, so he was in his element talking about his successful business and giving everyone financial advice. That's when I struck. During the cake cutting, I stood up and tapped my fork against my glass like I was making a toast. Everyone got quiet and looked at me. I smiled real big and said, "Thanks everyone for coming to celebrate with me. I just wanted to share some exciting news about my future." My dad looked proud, probably thinking I was about to thank him or something. I got into my dream college with a scholarship, which is amazing because my dad just told me he's not helping pay for my education at all. The room went dead silent. You could hear a pin drop. My Aunt Janet's mouth literally fell open. Uncle Rick nearly choked on his beer. My dad's face went bright red, but I wasn't done. Yeah, apparently money doesn't grow on trees, but somehow it grows enough for his daily Starbucks runs and his golf membership. A few people started snickering. But don't worry, Dad, I understand. Priorities, right? I mean, that vintage BMW in the driveway isn't going to repair itself with love and good intentions. By now, half the room was trying not to laugh, and the other half looked absolutely shocked. My grandma Rose, who never holds back, piped up and said, "Edward, you're not paying for your daughter's college? What kind of father?" My dad tried to interrupt, but then my mom's sister Ashley joined in. "Wait, didn't you just buy that expensive fishing boat last month?" The whole thing snowballed from there. Everyone started asking my dad about his priorities and why he was being so cheap with his own daughter's education. My cousin Jake, who's in college right now, said his parents took out loans to help him because that's what family does. The absolute best part was when my neighbor Mr. Peterson, who my dad always tries to impress, shook his head and said, "Man, I thought you were doing better financially. If you can't afford college tuition, maybe you should sell that boat." My dad was so embarrassed he disappeared into the garage for the rest of the party. People kept coming up to me offering to help with scholarship applications and telling me they were proud of me for being independent. After everyone left, my dad came back inside looking defeated. He sat down and had this long talk with my mom and me about how he was scared about retirement and had been stressed about money. Turns out, he wasn't as well off as he pretended to be and was panicking about having enough saved. We ended up working out a plan where he'd help with some costs, and I'd cover the rest with scholarships, a part-time job, and small loans. But the real win was that he finally stopped pretending to be Mr. Moneybags around the neighborhood.